Hey there, today I'm going to show you how to draw Red X from Teen Titans Go. So as usual, I'm going to start with his eyes. So I'm going to have him sort of leaning over in this direction here. So starting at the top half of your page, I start in the right eye. So starting in the center, I'm going to draw an angled line going outwards. From the center, I'm just going to draw a line in an angle, just a very short line. Here, I'm going to step in a little bit and draw the bottom part of its eye. So from here, I'm going to connect to that point there. A nice rounded curve. Try to get it nice and smooth. Now if you want, you can go ahead and just thicken this line up, because in most of the pictures that I see him in, the eyes are quite dark or thicker around the eyes. So go around and just kind of thicken that up. Just like so. And I can just go in here and just tape the line in. Okay, so let's go over to the left eye and draw the same thing. So from here, I'm just going to move over to the left. Draw a point. I want this line to angle up to the same height as I have on the right here. So starting on the left top, come down in an angle, and then connecting this point to here with a curve. And again, I want to make sure that the bottom is at the same height as on the right. So coming down, and then back up again. And then we can go ahead and thicken the eye up. Alright, let's go ahead and draw some bags under the eye. So underneath this eye here, I'm just going to draw a really short curve on the right and a really short curve on the left. Now from this point, I'm going to draw the head shape because the head is quite big and I want to block that in before I draw in all the little details. So from the eyes, I'm going to come down right about here on the right side. So just center of this inner part of the eye, I'm going to draw a point. This is my starting point. I'm going to draw a big circle for the head, and as I come down the side of the head, I'm going to straighten out towards the jaw. But here I can start by drawing a straight line over to the jawline. So I'm going to draw a point here for the jaw, and draw a straight line to that jaw. Now from here, this will give me a good guide to draw that circle that rounds out and hits that point. So the height of the head, probably maybe about here, and then go all the way around. So I'm just going to keep a mental note of that point there. Starting at the bottom, I'm just going to take my time and draw sort of a curve around the eyes, go back up to the top, and I'm keeping my eye on this point here. As I come close, I'm just going to straighten out, come straight down. Okay, let's draw the teeth in the skull pattern. So right about here, I'm just going to draw an upward curve. So on the left here, I'm going to curve up to the right, and on this side, I'm going to do an angled line out on both sides, left and right. Now from this point, I'm just going to angle out towards the jaws. So from here, I'll just draw a straight line out to the jaw. From here, I'm going to go out to about here. So I'm going to put a point there and draw an angled line to that point. Now from this point, I'm just going to draw sort of the skull top. So let's start up here. Basically a round circle that goes all the way around the eyes down to this point here. Now from this point, I'm going to just split this point between here and here in half with a straight line. I'm going to split the line in between here and here in half with a shorter line, and then again in here with a short line for the teeth. Let's draw the X on the head. So it's basically right in the middle of the forehead. So right here I'm going to draw a point. The top. From this point, I'm going to angle a line up to the right, angle a line up to the left. Now I'm going to come out and just taper out to the sides. Then from here, I just want to angle two lines out to the left and right. Then I'm going to come in to a central point right about here and just draw those lines right in. So we got the X right there. Okay, so we got the head. Let's get into the body. So what I like to do is always draw the things that are on top first before I get into things that are behind. So the easiest way to do this is to draw the arm in the front. So starting here right around the jaw, I'm just going to curve a line to the elbow. This is the top part of the arm, the bicep. From here, I'm going to get the hand to come up to here. So let's draw the forearm. So angling that line up and then curving to the wrist. Now that I have the wrist in place, I'm going to drop down here and draw a point. This is the bottom part of the wrist. And go down to the elbow right here with a curve right to the elbow. And then from here, I'm going to go into the armpit with a slight curve up. Just stop right about there. And for the wrist or the forearm, he's got this sort of like this lightning bolt pattern. So starting up here, I'm just going to draw a line at an angle, go across, and then back down again. I'm going to draw that same thing just over to the left, just like so. For the hand, I'm going to have him holding the X's. So right here, I'm going to draw a line up, go across to the thumb, and then just come in a little bit. There, I'm going to draw the index finger going out, squaring that off, and coming back down just a little bit. Here, I'm just going to draw a little curve for the lower knuckles, line out for the pinky, come up just a little bit, and from here, I'm just going to connect to that wrist with a curve that just goes just like that. Now here, I'm just going to draw the X, so it's going to go this way and this way. So starting here, I'm going to curve up and come back down towards that thumb. From here, I actually can just extend this line out behind the head and take this line and just sort of start tapering in. Here, I'm going to imagine this line coming down to a point and then back up again. Here, I'm going to imagine this line coming down, and then right from this wrist, I'll just point it out, just like that. Okay, so there's the first arm. Let's get into the other arm. So the arm that's underneath this. Let's start right about the chin. So here's one shoulder. The other shoulder would probably be right about there. So I'm going to go down with a curve. And imagine this coming down behind that arm to the elbow. Okay, so there's one continuous straight line just behind this arm. And go to the wrist with an upward curve. Okay, like I did on this side, I'm going to go up and draw a point for the wrist. Now here's the elbow right here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to curve up and then angle in towards the elbow. And here I'm just going to tuck this in with a curve that goes all the way up behind that chin. Again, like I did over here with the lightning bolt, I'm going to draw the same thing here. So coming down an angle, across, and then down. Draw the same thing. So down an angle, across, and down. I'm going to take that hand and draw the opposite, so it just flipped over on this side. So going up first, across the thumb, and then down. Let's go out to the index finger. So going straight out, squaring that off, down just a little bit, and we curve the knuckles, and we're going to draw that little pinky that comes out and across. Now connecting that wrist to that point with a curve. Goes something like that. Let's start with the X here on the top. So taking this line, you're going straight up, come down, and go out in an angle, and then I'm going to aim for this point right here, just behind that index finger. Imagine this line coming down this way, a straight line, and then back up again. This one coming this way, and tucking in behind that hand. Let's just finish that off there. Okay, so now that we have that, I'm going to draw the back. So here, right about here, I'm going to draw a curve that goes down behind that hand. Okay. Now from here, I'm going to draw the cape. So let's start right about here on the shoulder, drawing a curve. And then from here, I'm just going to curve around and just tuck that in behind that hand. Let's go into the chest area. So here, he's sort of hunched over, so you're going to see a bit of his chest kind of like coming this way. And then straight down for the stomach. Here, his hips are quite narrow, so I'm going to start right about here, come down at an angle, curve, right to the same height as I have on the left. Now from here I can just connect these 2 points with a curve that goes up for his belt, go up a little bit and draw that same curve just above that. And then I can just draw 2 lines down the belt, just for a little bit of detail. Let's get into the legs. So from here I'm going to have him stepping forward, so I'm going to go out with a curve towards his knee, and then curving in the opposite direction, so going outwards towards the ankle. Here I'm just going to curve out the foot. So the top of the foot will get curved out. Now his foot actually gets wider as it gets down towards the bottom. So take this point and curve the bottom of the shoe quite wide. Then from here I'm going to go right to a narrow knee area. Will be quite narrow. So going wide as I come down and then narrow as I go up towards his knee. From here I'm going to go all the way back towards his lower torso with a curve that goes back. From here I'm going to curve down towards the back of the heel. From here I'm going to go down to right about here. So again I'm going to go narrow and then just kind of go a little bit wider out here. So I'll draw a point here. And I want to connect to that hip with a curve. But I'm going to tuck this in behind that star and up again. Okay, from here I'm going to draw the back of the heel. Here I'm going to do what I did here on the opposite side and draw a curve for the top of the foot. and connect those two with a curve for the bottom of the foot. Now here all I need to do is draw a little detail, just a curved line on the bottom of each of the feet. Now here the cape. On this side it's actually going to come down behind his arm, behind his leg, sort of curve out this way. Here I'm going to imagine this line curving the cape and continuing behind that X all the way down. And all you're going to see on the bottom here are the little frills on the bottom of the cape. So I'm just going to go in and just draw a series of zigzags that go up and down. And I think that's pretty much it. There we have it. There's Red X from Teen Titans Go. I hope you enjoyed this lesson. Please send us a like, send us a comment or a request. You can also check out our Teen Titans Go playlist. We have a ton of characters in there. And please share this with your friends, get them to subscribe, and we'll see you again soon.